Here's an interesting idea. Could we use data from Google Trends to narrow down our audience on Facebook to just the locations that are hotbed markets, right? So in other words, where are people actively seeking out this service? So for those of you guys that don't know me, I'm in the lead generation space, particularly in the home services space. And right now I want to set up a test to figure this out for bathroom remodeling leads. So real quick, let me pull up Google Trends. So if we go into Google Trends right here, and I'm going to type in bathroom remodeling. We can type that in, and we can see where the hotbed markets are, where the search volume is really coming from. So if we just ran our Facebook ads to these markets where there's a lot of search volume, would it do better than running them, say, nationwide? Well, let's take a look at this here, and let's narrow this down to metro. All right, cities can be incredibly small. Cities can be incredibly small and not necessarily the best, the best route to go with it. Now, let's see, this one only has New York. So let's just go back to metro, right? So this is going to tell us the biggest metro areas. So what if we were to drop a pin around there and go for the 25 or 50 mile area around these areas? Now, one thing that's standing out to me though, before we get into it, is my actual search query in these locations. I'm seeing Tulsa, Oklahoma, Shreveport, Louisiana, Dayton, Ohio mixed in up here. These areas are not really high income areas, or I shouldn't say high income, but they don't have high property values. And where there's higher property values, people tend to invest more in their homes in higher contractors. So possibly this is not the right search. So let's do something else here and type in bathroom contractors. People that are searching for bathroom contractors are going to have a higher level of intent. They're looking for a contractor. These people are more likely to become my lead and request services, whereas bathroom remodeling might be people looking for ideas, how to, where to get the supplies and the materials, etc. So if we delete bathroom remodeling and just look at bathroom contractors, and you did notice, I think, that bathroom contractors has way lower search volume. I'll just put that back up. Bathroom contractors as a search term has way lower search volume than than bathroom remodeling. So just wanted to make that point, but let's remove bathroom remodeling. Now bathroom contractors, where are people looking for bathroom contractors at? Well, we'll set that to metro, and here we go. Baltimore, Philadelphia, Boston, Washington, D.C., New York. These are all very high property value areas. San Francisco, Atlanta, Cleveland, Ohio, Portland, Oregon, Seattle. Again, this is all, a lot higher property values than, say, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So what if we set up a test to test again nationwide versus these areas with a radius around it? Well, that is what I've done. And you can see right here, and it's already been up and running. So it's been up and running for this morning, and they've each actually captured a lead. We've got the nationwide right here, and this ad set just runs across the whole country. And then we've got the major markets here. So if we open this up and click on edit, you could see the map. We'll click on the map. There's the map. You can see I put the 10 pins on the 10 major markets according to search trends, or not search trends, search trends. Okay, I'm confused between Search Console and search trends. Those always kind of confuse me. And we've got the split test set up to run at $40 a day. So I'm going to let this run. We're going to come back to this in 7 or 8 days and check on it. Big thing is leaving campaigns and ad sets and tests alone and letting Facebook have at least a week's worth of data. I know a lot of people like to refresh and be like, oh my God, what's it doing? What's it doing? Let me see if I got any new leads. Let's see if I got any new conversions. Let's see how many clicks I got. And people like to check on it hour by hour. Gosh, that is such a mind-numbingly painful way of doing things. I mean, that's just going to result in shiny object syndrome, chasing, over-analysis of data, etc. Set things up, let it run at least a week. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and jump forward a week. I'm going to cut this video, jump forward a week, and see how things have done once this campaign has ran its course. I've let this test run its course. It's been over 7 days since I started it. I started it back on October 13th, and if you can see the calendar here, I'm looking at it now from October 14th to today, the 21st of October. So it's been 7 days and a half. We're going to look at the data. I usually don't like to look at the first day of data. because, it might take the campaign a few hours or the ad sets a few hours to get approved, or, one ad might be running, but not all of them. So I always start the day after. So the 14th to the 21st, 7.5 days. Let's take a look and see how things did. Did the major hotbed markets perform better and get more leads at a lower cost than just going with a big, broad audience across the nation? Now, I'm on the delivery screen right now. And before we jump into the lead count, I want to point this out. The cost per 1,000 people is about the same, whether you're going nationwide or just the major hotbed market. So cost per delivery of 1,000 people, or CPM, cost per mil, is about the same either way. It's not a material difference that's worth noting between the two of them, but it is worth noting that it's about the same. Now let's switch this to performance and take a look at the leads. So between these two ad sets, this whole test, I spent $491.95. That's still running right at the moment. So in other words, it's a few cents or dollars higher than it was like 2 hours ago. And let's see, we got 12 leads when we're targeting the hotbed markets at a cost per lead of $20.51. But going nationwide, we got 35 leads at a cost per lead of $6.99. All right, so going nationwide and not using the hotbed markets as we determined by Google Trends got a better result. This is telling me that Facebook does the best when you give it a big audience and you've got one clear conversion objective. So while in this case, I'm using it to filter locations or kind of analyzing the audience or isolating the audience, my variable in scientific terms is the audience location. What this is telling me is that no matter what qualification or quality you use for the audience, a lot of people use a lot of interest targeting, lookalike audience, etc. Facebook performs best when you use a huge, broad audience focused on that one conversion event that needs to happen. And that's what's happening here in this case. So going forward, I'm going to omit this, and I'm going to stick with my usual strategy, which is fewer audience optimizations, or fewer audience, or less audience narrowing, more broad audiences, more on that conversion event, and letting Facebook do the heavy lifting. So that's a wrap on this experiment. If you guys have any questions, look for the No Bullshit Marketing Group. That's my Facebook group. Join that. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have on this experiment in that Facebook group. And of course, if you want to get more videos like this, more online more online experiments, more eBiz insight and information, look for the subscribe button somewhere around this video in the YouTube player and subscribe to my channel. That's a wrap, guys. I'm signing off on this one.